Hello, everybody. This is 3SP, and I'm coming to you with another update. This one comes from Bloomberg Markets. U.S. household wealth rises to 1.7 trillion to another record. U.S. household wealth increases in the second quarter to yet another record, driven by solid gains in financial assets and rising property values. Figures from the Federal Reserve in Washington showed Thursday. Highlights of household wealth report second quarter. Net worth for households and nonprofit groups rose by 1.7 trillion or 1.8% to 96.2 trillion according to Fed's Financial Accounts Report, previously known as Flow of Funds Survey. Value of financial assets, including stocks and pension fund holdings, increased by 1.2 trillion. Household debt increased at a 3.7% annual rate in the second quarter. Household real estate assets rose by $508 billion. Owners' equity as share of total real estate holdings up to 58.4% from 57.9%. Key takeaways. The increase in household wealth reflects steady growth in house prices, which were up 5.7% in June from a year ago, based on S&P CoreLogic Case Shiller data, as well as a 2.6% rise last quarter in the S&P 500 index, which is hovering near a record high. A strong job market and low inflation also are allowing Americans to improve their purchasing power, helping to sustain household spending, the biggest part of the economy. The report also showed companies had almost $2.3 trillion in liquid assets, giving them the means to boost investment. Other details. Mortgage borrowing advanced at a 2.8% annualized pace. Other forms of consumer credit, including auto and student loans, climbed at a 4.6% rate. Total non-financial debt grew at a 3.8% annual pace. Federal government obligations expanded 3.6%. State and local government debt declined at a 1% pace, while business borrowing increased 5.3%. Now, this is the second quarter, and we're still within the first year. This is just the second quarter that Trump has been president. And we're seeing that we are getting these extremely high marks on the stock market, for one. Companies are coming back to the United States. He is actually keeping his promise in this part where he said that he's going to make America great again. In this aspect where jobs are coming back, income is increasing, and wealth overall in the United States is increasing, he's actually keeping his promise. And I can tell you, I just got another job. I'm starting Monday with another job. And that is just more evidence, at least to me, that this article is true. So, again, one thing that is influencing this boom in our economy right now is Trump's promise to decrease taxes, to have a tax reform. Now, that's one thing we have to look out for when he presents this plan to Congress, is if they'll support it or not. We already seen that they rejected the Obamacare reform. And this is the same legislation that they presented when Obama was in office. And they blamed him for rejecting it. They blamed him for vetoing it. So all Trump did was really all that was represented was the same legislation that was vetoed by Obama, and then they voted it out of the House and Senate. So that's one thing we have to look out for, is that these rhinos, that these neocons, they might not really want this tax reform to happen. But this is what everything in our economy is based off of right now. This big boom, this big rally in the stock market, these new jobs that are coming is all based off of the promise of tax reform. So we need to do our part and voice our opinion, to call our congressmen, to call our senators, and let them know to support the tax reform. This is what's going to keep our economy growing. And another thing we need to do is we have to pray. We have to pray that the right decisions are made. We know that the enemy has been attacking this whole time. His goal is to steal, kill, and destroy. So he's trying to steal, kill, and destroy this vision that's coming to the United States, where the people of God cried out for a leader to come. We cried out that we be free to worship again, that we would be free to vote again, that we would have our freedoms respected. And this is our time, but the enemy is fighting. And the Bible says when the enemy comes in like a flood, God will lift up a standard. It is each and every one of our responsibility to rise up that standard that you will hear our voice, that standard that this reform will happen, that standard that America will be first. It is our job to make that petition before God. And that's where I'm going to leave this. This is 3SP signing out.